Hello and welcome to the second tutorial of the pinhole camera workshops. Today we're going to be learning about how to develop your photographs that you've taken with your pinhole camera. I'm going to show you two different ways of creating solutions that will help you develop your photographs. You can do either or, whichever one you have the materials for at home. If you're making the first solution, you want to get yourself your soda crystals. Add 2 teaspoons to 250 ml of warm water. Then you want to give it a good mix. Now you want to get yourself your coffee granules, this can be any kind. Add 4 teaspoons to the mixture you've just made. Give that a good mix. Now grab yourself your vitamin C tablets. You want about half a teaspoon of vitamin C powder. So we're going to grind that down with a pestle and mortar. This is going to help with the contrast of your photograph, so if you want it to be less contrast, use less. If you want more, then use more. If you're using tablets as opposed to powder like me, just add a bit of hot water to make it a smooth mixture. Now you can go ahead and add that to the solution that you've been making. Now to make the stopper, you want to add about 150 grams of salt to 500 ml of warm water. Now you want to give this a really good mix until all of the salt has dissolved into the water. As you can see, I mixed the salt water until it was completely clear. So now we're going to do solution number 2. If you're doing solution number 1, then you can ignore this next part, and vice versa for people doing solution number 2. Ignore the first part. So for solution number 2, you want to get yourself 200 ml of hot water and then add 10 grams of dried mint leaves, making a mint tea. You can then leave this to brew for about 15 minutes. Now I'd recommend getting yourselves a coffee filter. I didn't have one of those, so I made a makeshift out of old tea bags. Pour the solution through, so then you just have the mint flavoured water. Now you want to make another mixture by dissolving 1000 milligrams of vitamin C tablets in 200 ml of water. Then grab your bicarbonate of soda and add 10 grams of that to the vitamin C mixture. You want to give this a good mix until all the bubbles have disappeared. Now mix both solutions together. This is going to create your developer. So now for the stopper, you want to get yourself 5 ml of lemon juice and mix that with 200 ml of water. And there you go, there's your developer and stopper. So now we're going to take a look at how to develop the photographs you took in the first session. So it's very important that it's done in complete darkness, so you can use the tips that I told you on how to make a dark room yourself in the other video. In order to time yourself, I recommend using an interval timer that bleeps every 30 seconds. This will help you know the time without having to use your phone, because you can't take your phone into the dark room. This way you can just count the bleeps from outside the room and you can know exactly how many minutes and how long it's got. So for this part of the video, I've just kept my light on so you guys can see what I'm doing. So what you want to do is get your photographic paper out of your pinhole camera and place it into the developer, glossy side down. You want to leave it in there for about 2 minutes, then peel up one of the sides, see if you think it's developed enough, and then if it's not, leave it in for another 2 minutes. Also, I recommend using tongs. Sorry, it's not the best example here. I should have been using tongs as well. Then you want to put it into your stopper solution. It's recommended to leave it in as long as possible, but if you're in a shared space, then that is not always possible. So I'd leave it for about 1 minute and then take a photograph of it, scan it in, and then you can keep the image forever. The image will last a while, but probably not as long as it would do if you had used shop-bought developer and stopper. Here are some examples of the photographs that I came up with. During the process, your image actually becomes inverted, so if you want to take a photograph of your photo and invert it, then you can see a really cool contrast, see it in a different light. I think these are really cool results. It looks quite eerie and quite old-fashioned. They even have a supernatural feel to them. Here are some examples of the work done by artists that use pinhole cameras within their practice. There are many different things you can do with pinhole cameras and many different ways you can make them. I've just shown you a couple. I hope you enjoyed today's workshop, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the week as well. Thank you so much for taking part.